Hello everyone and welcome to your online customer service training for successful retailing. My name is Snejana Ulbrich and I'm the founder of a soft skills training business called Lead the Business Corporate Training. Now this is an interactive training workshop which works best for groups of 8 to 12 delegates. You will have group and individual exercises and case studies to complete. Now pause the video while you are doing these activities and resume when everyone completes them. This training is divided into 3 sessions, and each session is approximately 2 to 2.5 hours long. You will want to take a tea break or lunch breaks in between the sessions, or perhaps even do them on different days. Now, the way you schedule your training and structure it is entirely up to you. There are some things, though, that you will need to do before you start. Now, first of all, make sure that your training room is right. The training works best if your table setup is a U-shape. This is so that everyone can see each other. It creates a good workspace, good interaction between participants, and is ideal when you have audio-visual involved. Now, the room should also have a whiteboard and a marker, or maybe a large paper notepad, and everyone should also bring a pen and a notebook so that you're ready to take notes and do the exercises. And you should also have a sticky notepad ready for your first exercise. It may be a good idea to get a pitcher of water and some drinking glasses, as you will be involved in a lot of discussion. But before we start, I would like to briefly introduce myself so that you know a little bit about who I am and what I've done. Now, I haven't always been a trainer. I graduated as an interior designer in the early 80s and worked for numerous architectural and design companies for well over 10 years. When my kids were young, I decided to take a couple of years of work and be a stay-at-home parent. However, what I thought would be about 2 or 3 years turned out to be almost 7. So when I decided to go back to work, I found that it was actually a lot harder than I thought. I had been away from the design industry for too long, and I realised that my chances of finding design work were looking very slim. So I started looking at furniture retail and found my first job in a designer furniture showroom, where I specialised in custom-made furniture design and later in retail management. And since then, I've worked in several showrooms of various sizes, employing anywhere between 3 to 15 people. I worked in this industry for probably about 10 years, and so I've dealt with all types of personalities, and I've been exposed to all sorts of situations and customer behaviours. So when I've developed this workshop, I did it from my experience where I saw gaps and problems that retailers faced. So I've addressed everything from effective communication to knowing how to close a sale and evaluating your customer service. I've covered pretty much all the issues that come about when you work in a customer service industry. When I started my training business, I knew that I had a lot to offer, with all my years of experience in various careers and roles from interior design to retail sales and management, as well as accounts management and recruitment. So now, as well as my online training, I also do face-to-face training, where I come to your place of business and put on various soft skills workshops that can be customised for each organisation. So, as a trainer, I draw on all of my experience to give you as much as I can and make your training as interesting as possible. But to get the most out of your training, it's important that you get involved and contribute. But the most important thing is just to have fun and enjoy the workshop. So now that you know a little bit about me and who I am, let's get started. Now, the first thing I want you all to do is to pass around your sticky notepad and take 2 sheets each. On top of the first sheet, write down challenges. And on top of the second sheet, write down outcomes. Now, on your challenges sheet, I want you to write down what you find most challenging about working in a retail environment or in customer service. For example, it could be dealing with complaints or dealing with indecisive customers or rude customers, or maybe those who are always asking for discounts. Or perhaps it's in the area of your product knowledge, or maybe your understanding of company policies and procedures, or perhaps you don't know what the customer wants or how to close a sale. So have a think about it and write down at least 1 or 2 points of whatever it is that you find most challenging in your current role. Now, on your second notepad, you should have a heading that says outcomes. On this sheet, you should write down what you expect to get out of today's training session and what it is that you would most like to learn in this training. It could be knowing how to handle difficult situations or difficult customers, or perhaps it's building rapport or greeting skills, or maybe selling or closing techniques. Once you have written this down, take your sheets to the front of the room and put them into two separate piles. One pile for challenges and the other for outcomes, and choose one person to read out the challenges list and another to read out the outcomes. Pause the video while you do this and start again when you are ready. Now that you have read both of the piles and everyone's comments, have you observed any similarities? What seems to be the most common challenge? And what is it that most of you hope to get out of this workshop? So let's look at the objectives of this workshop. In this training, you will learn how to communicate effectively, how to build good rapport, how to create a good first impression, how to develop and maintain customer service, how to recognise various customer behaviours and learn how to deal with difficult situations and difficult customer behaviours. You will also learn how to get into the minds of buyers and close sales. And last of all, you will learn how to evaluate your customer service. So let's get started with session 1 of today's training.